Howdy YouTube. First of all, I'd like to thank Miss Pero for sending me the seeds. Greatly appreciate it. If any of you haven't viewed any of her videos and subscribed and stuff, you should. She's got a lot of good videos. Had a few people want me to do a tiny house thing, so I guess this is tiny house cribs. And I think I'm going to actually target somebody to see if they'll do it too. So this is going to be kind of like a one person leads to another thing, I guess. But here's my tiny cabin. I really ain't 100% sure what size. I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of 12-ish. I think 12 by 12, something like that. It might be 16 by 16. I think it is 16 by 16 because I think that was the longest lumber I had was 16 foot. But, you know, I got my outside cooking, which is pretty simple. You know, one propane bottle. You got the grill. Well, let me get in there. Got the grill. Got a burner eye. Pretty simple for outside cooking. A little bit of seating area. A little bit of a porch. And then inside, right now she is not done. She is more storage than actual cabin. Down here is my power system, which this box is out of a camper, and it's where you can run 110 and it converts it to 12 volt. Switch up, it would run off the battery bank, which I ain't got it wired all the way in yet. Switch down, you can run a generator or plug it into main power, and it will convert to 12 volt and run all the lights and everything that I've got in here. I'm still in the process of working on this system out, but it's an interesting box. I think they sell units that do it that does more than just this, but this is what I got out of a camper. So got a little fan, 12 volt fan. I've got kerosene lamps, 12 volt bulbs. 12 volt bulbs, kerosene lamp. This fridge runs off of propane, 110 or 12 volt. It's out of a camper. It's got a freezer and a fridge. The switches and everything down there to turn it from one to the other. Down there I got to build a box to enclose that. I ain't got around to it yet. I've got metal cabinets to hold shit, which, considering it's still a construction zone, not even all my floor is in. Got some of my floor in, but I ain't got all my floor in. There's a wood stove that I built, you know, pretty basic. You know, you got your little lever on the side that controls the airflow out the chimney. Make sure you can see that. And then you got your door with a little slide. Just pull that over, open the door, shut the door. Got your little air dampeners down here, where you can open air, close air. The chimney just runs up and runs out the wall with a metal panel, so there ain't near no wood. I'm still working on my water heating system, which wraps around here, which is a good place. It gets nice and hot. Water would circulate and percolate, kind of like a giant coffee pot, and have hot running water. Still a construction zone, so don't mind the terribleness. These are my makeshift little cabinets, or shelves, I should say, to hold stuff. I gotta get some more wood to put down here to, you know, do a bottom layer. Then I'm going to put this 12 volt camper light underneath here so I can lighten up. Put that light up underneath here so I can lighten up the sink area. my water is in the cabin is a cistern, and flip this switch here, which the battery's dead. It's actually damaged, so it was just kind of a salvage thing out of a car I found. But you hit this switch right here, and the water pump comes on, pumps water. These run one of them runs the inside lights up here, little 12-volt lights. The other one runs the light on the porch, which I'll show you, and the other light's going out to the outhouse. Drain system is pretty much as basic as you can get. I've just got a bucket underneath the outlet, and it just catches the water. Shut up! But, you know, pretty simple there. Let's see, anything else in here to look at real quick? The insulation. Damn dirty chicken. But the insulation is the styrofoam kind, you know. It's got like a plastic layer and like a foil-like layer on the other side. Technically, I think the foil layer is supposed to go out, but you know, I figured it would reflect more heat from the wood stove inside, so that's the reason I put it that way. This is just an old couch I chopped up and just kind of made like a half-ass sitting area for temporary. Will you shut up? Out here is where I'm going to put my batteries. I have to clean it out. It's just an old plastic toolbox. I'm going to put some wood underneath to get it up off the ground. And there's my 12-volt inlet wiring for the box in there, which will house that. Out here's my 12-volt inlet plug. You just plug a regular drop cord from the box to the generator, which I do not have at this point in time. I have to get one. But you just run it wherever you need it and fire up the generator and power goes in. This is my, well, you probably can't see it for the glare. There's the wind turbine. I have not got it hooked up yet. There's some parts I got to get before I can actually hook it up. Will you shut up? Jesus. I didn't have real gutters, so I used a piece of vinyl siding, kind of folded at the end and whatnot. Water comes down, collects, just runs down. It's got a little bit of a slight slope, so it runs proper. This is the outside of the chimney. A little thing keeps rain from going in. Water just runs down in here. That's got gravel and gravel and some wire mesh, like a screen, to keep leaves and junk from going into the cistern unit. This water tank here will be eventually how the hot water will flow, and I'll have hot water in that. This is my 55-gallon cistern. I've got a submersible pump in there, so that's where the water comes out of. Rain flows in, runs down in, and then the pump pumps it up and runs it in. To fill the water tank up here, I've got a T here, which will be hooked in also, so I can turn the pump on, turn that on, leave the water turned off in there, and it'll pump the water into the tank, fill up the tank. Due to the fact of how big this tank is and what size this tank is, almost all this water would go into that, and I would end up having to probably do it on like a rainy day or something. There's my grape. Out here is one of the 12-volt lights. That internal switch works. Over there on the porch, which I don't know if you can see it, is in front of the door. It's also one. This building was completely built out of literally recycled material. Pretty much all of it was decking for a trailer park, and they jerked it all out and was putting new decks in. And I got the lumber, which is majority of it is 2x6. The walls are actually done in 2x6s. The tin was salvaged off a barn that blew over. Then the wire runs over to the outhouse, which the outhouse is pretty basic. Door I salvaged. Right there's the other light. There's the toilet. Yes, it's got carpets on it. You know, you don't want no cold breeze going up your roof. Plenty of cracks in the wood and stuff for ventilation. You know, the top's open so you can breathe. And there's no smell in here or anything like that. I got a roll of toilet paper over here, hung on a nail, and an extra roll underneath there, underneath the coffee can, which keeps shit from getting to it, like rats and stuff, or mice, or bugs, or whatever, and keeps you an extra roll when you may need it. Just a simple little toggle to hold the door shut. Don't ask me what size this is, I just kind of threw it together. But all in all, that's pretty much where I'm sitting right now. I've still got some more tin work to do because I ain't got all the overhang on the sides done and everything. So I got more tin work to do, probably some more insulation work, actual siding the inside, solar, wind, all the other bells and whistles and things. But pretty much what I got. This is the vent for the fridge. It's just a license plate that I bent and folded so it fits and has a little air vent. Rain can't go into it. But that's pretty much where it is. These are Locust, all the poles. This was actually built like a pole building. It had vertical poles and then uppers and lowers and then boards put up with a roof. These poles are Locust. They shouldn't rot. They especially won't rot if you take the bark off. If you leave the bark, they can rot. Bugs can get to them. So you got to take the bark off. All the windows are recycled, salvaged. All the lumber that made the deck, the little porch, the doors recycled. Pretty much every aspect here is recycled. The only thing I actually had to purchase was nails. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure where I'm sitting at price, but I'm pretty sure I'm below $100. $100 sitting right now, and you know, that's mainly just nails that I purchased. Everything else was salvaged. Everything else was scavenged and picked up in scrap yards and people throwing stuff away and everything else. This sink came from a scrap yard. You know, nice stainless steel sink. You know, so this was here when I bought the place. That came from a scrap yard. The fridge actually came from a scrap yard where they were scrapping out a darn camper. Some of the other camper components, that thing came from a same scrap yard where the fridge came from. All the lights that are in here came from scrap yards, RVs, and recycled this and scavenged that and whatnot. The floors, just whatever boards I had left over and whatnot, and you know, they're not even. These are 2 inches thick. These are like 1 inch thick, which technically these are about, oh darn it, I'm not pointing the camera the right way. These are about 1.5 thick, which is almost about around your standard 2x4s, 2x4, 2x6, 2x8 top thickness. These are just like ½ inch thick. There's a little bit of a ridge there, but it don't bother me one dang bit. You know, it's a little ridge. So, you know, it's just made out of whatever I can scavenge. It's, you know, it's just a simple little cabin, plain Jane simple. That's pretty much what I've got on my tiny home. I mean, my tiny home cribs or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna call this. I ain't sure. But I'm calling out Aaron Thatcher on his channel, a buddy of mine, to do his tiny cabin. You're doing a cabin. You ain't really done many videos on really step-by-step walkthrough and everything, so this is your call out. I want you to do a tiny home crib type thing where you walk through and talk about all the stuff you've done and doing and all this wonderful stuff. I think I'm going to try to put a link to his channel below, and I'm going to send this to you, bud. So, seeings, God bless.